Our culture is the most important thing at the company, and we spend a lot of time on it. We're a people company first that happens to do wood. Elk Creek Forest Products started in 2001, just a small company.
We've grown a very family-focused sort of business. The expertise in the yard and the expertise in sales and all the different departments really work together to make the dream work.
The integrity and trust and relationship development, not only internally, but externally with customers and vendors, is critical to our success.
Brett will tell you that the first phone call that he had on day one was to a sawmill and to find out what their challenges were and what they needed help with.
In the beginning, we didn't have products that we sold, but really it was having the willingness to do what everyone else wasn't going to do. Not a good fit, no one had time for, they were too difficult. Those were the things that we started with.
Now we process about 200 million board feet a year. We specialize in sort of high-end timbers as well as commodity products for construction lumber throughout the U.S.
Because of all the ups and downs that we've been through together with all the primary vendors in the region, we've earned their trust to be able to take a project like the Portland Airport and pull off unique requirements with locally sourced wood.
Our first introduction to the airport project was through Paul Vanderford with Sustainable Northwest. They asked if we would be available to help facilitate the supply of a large volume of sustainably certified material, and we felt like we could make that happen.
Elk Creek's business model is to understand every wood products business in the region. And so when the airport had certain needs, Elk Creek immediately understood which vendors were going to be best suited to provide those values.
The Port of Portland had really high ambitions around what the sourcing of the wood could be. Our approach was that we wanted to track the wood back to its source, back to its force of origin. Where we weren't able to know how it was being harvested and thus make these claims, we had to rely on third-party certification. And this was challenging because we had roughly 2.6 million board feet of wood, and what we heard time and time and again was it's not possible. You can't find that much wood that's FSC certified, it doesn't exist, like no, until we finally heard a yes. And a big part of that was from Elk Creek.
With the support of Sustainable Northwest, now this idea is growing of being able to source lumber from forests that wouldn't traditionally be providing for these large-scale projects.
I think in general we're seeing a renaissance in the use of wood, understanding how we can use this renewable resource in more effective ways and create jobs. So I'm excited that it's showcased in our Portland Airport and that people can enjoy that.
Not only is it a beautiful building, it's a beautiful landscape that the passengers enjoy once they step out of that building. It will allow them to find communities that are thriving and allow them to walk through forests that are healthy. And we now know that this is not only valuable and worth doing, but that it can be done at scale. Projects across the country should be considering how their money can be spent in ways for these same values to be achieved.
I think the airport wanted to show how our communities and our forests are actually intertwined in the Pacific Northwest. And we live amongst the trees up here, and now when you fly into the airport, you feel like you are.